Good morning, everybody. Hoist those coffee cups. It is coffee time Sunday with Missy, Jenn, and the Rosie girls. Sunday, November 18th, 2018. Missy, Jenn, Thanksgiving week officially kicks off today. Coffee time. Take a big hit.
Gotta get my coffee fixing.
We do love our morning coffee.
That's
One of the
right.
things that I'm glad to have you aboard as usual, Missy, Jenn. And we'll get to Missy, Jenn in a couple minutes. All her peppy Friday afternoon turning into a Mexican jumping bean and being real happy. Anyway, guys, let's get down to it. I love some of the mail I get, Missy, Jenn, particularly some things on Twitter messages. And it's a little harder on YouTube. You don't have the direct messaging anymore, but we still get people Gmailing, and our Gmail address is on the About page. And people will say, how do you maintain being so happy? This person's well, there's a couple people that snipe at you on a daily basis on YouTube, and yet you're totally unflustered by it and unconcerned. And my answer to them is what I would tell everybody on YouTube. If you want to be happy in your daily life, live your life on your own terms, okay? So many times in life, we tailor ourselves to meet the expectations and the desires of others instead of being ourself and presenting our true self. And then people that like you naturally gravitate to you, and people that don't gradually move away. So what happens over time, Missy, Jenn, you build a following of people that like your style. They like the things that you do, and they watch you.
Oh, yeah.
And the people that don't like that, the funny thing is, they continue to watch you. They still watch you on YouTube. Why? Because they think and believe that they have some mysterious power over you, to be able to mold you into something that they want to see, which will never satisfy them in the end anyway, because they'll end up moving the goalposts on you, right? They'll move the goal line. You do everything to please them. Guess what happens? They'll move the goal line. You're not pleasing them anymore. The bottom line is this. You got to be yourself on YouTube to sustain yourself over years. And people talk about faking it and all that. You can fake it for a week. You can fake it for a month. And as an extraordinary person, Missy Jenn, you can fake it for a year. But year in, year out, the true you will always come through. And there's no hiding that. There's no faking that. And that, my friends, is the bottom line. You want to be happy on YouTube. You want to put up your content. You want to do the things that make you happy. You'll get your following of people that love and enjoy that. Trust me.
Yep.
It always works that way.
Absolutely.
And even the people that claim that they don't like it, they'll still be hanging on, and they'll still be watching. Right? Oh, good stuff. Now let's move ahead to the next thing. Yesterday was a real big milestone for me in terms of videography. As you guys know, Missy, Jenn, I've moved more into IRL live streaming events. Number one, because they're interactive with people. You can actually experience events with people. Right? You can go places, you can take people. Most of my stuff is real funny, the ghetto walks, sometimes people are terrified, but I have my own comfort zone of the things that I feel comfortable doing. But the bottom line is people can enjoy interacting with you at that moment. Oh, Rosie, I'm interested. What was that back there? Could you turn the camera? And that was a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
That YouTube gives you a platform that real time you can interact with people. You can eat meals with people. You can go to events. And last night, Missy Jenn, gone to that winter fair down in the art district of Santa Rosa. There hasn't been a lot to cheer about in California this year. But that has been a tremendous, things like that are just such a feel-good event for making you feel better. And what really made it extraordinary last night was it's the first day that I cut over after almost 20 years on T-Mobile. The first time that I cut over to Verizon. And Missy Jenn, we reviewed the footage of the parade. And I'm going to cut out the parade and do a separate upload on the Rosie Murphy channel to just put that up. But the results were staggering. The results...
Absolutely awesome. Quality of the picture quality, no interruptions.
No, not one
no
drop
pixelation,
stream.
nothing. It's all smooth. Streaming.
Continuous stream. We got down, started that live stream event 10 minutes before the parade. And if you haven't seen it, see it. Especially the first 20 minutes or so. It's really good, the sofa parade. And then you can go around and enjoy the whole event because there's some really weird stuff.
Yeah, in and outside of the buildings. No interruptions, nothing.
Nothing. No loss of signal. I guarantee if I'd gone into some of these small galleries with T-Mobile, I would have dropped the signal. Then I got to turn off the phone, restart it, and then resume the live stream event. Okay? For me, last night was an epiphany of just how good the quality could be on a live stream real-time event that I could share with you. And we've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people enjoy and watch that event. Why? Because it was watchable, because the quality is very nice. And you guys were right there with me. Yeah, it's a little more money a month. Of course, some of the kindness of our subs stepped up. And particularly Joey D and chiming in. You guys are wonderful. And booting in a little something to the channel. And everything we do and everything we get goes into channel. Yeah, my costs have gone higher now for doing things, but the results, that value has paid off.
Absolutely. And that it'll be much more enjoyable for you all now to watch Rosie heading out, being out, and talking to y'all and showing you stuff.
You know, being at dinner, things like that. We wanted to run one continuous video last night, so we left the art fair, the winter fair, and we went over to dinner, and we just live streamed right through dinner. Good time. A lot of people had a lot of comments on the dinner and things, and so yes, keep improving your eating habits, Rosie. But it was a very good event. So.
The dinner was actually good. They actually improved their
Mary's
quality of the food. They just need to get their waitress.
Yeah, we got to get a waitress that's not high on the job.
Yeah, like quit smoking those stovepipes while you're on duty.
So, you know, obviously people are enjoying it because the subscriber count is just, you know, really just good. It's been a great year for that. You know, after being in basically a sideways mode, a lot of people are really understanding that live streaming is a really great way, and YouTube endorses that, to interact with people and do those type of streams. I'm going to be experimenting with Streamlabs because it also offers a high degree of interactivity too, and that could be interesting. So look forward to many more events. I'm going to be interested in seeing how this performs in the hood. Gone to different spots here where I've typically lost signal before and seeing what the heck goes. But I know Verizon is a much more robust carrier for me. So I thought about that for months and months, didn't I, Jen? It was not an easy decision. You know,
it was discussed.
I had a hell of a deal on T-Mobile. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, with pixelation and dropping the stream and stuff, it just wasn't worth it. So I hope you guys agree that, you know, reviewing that, looking at, and enjoying that fair. And I will be downloading that stream, editing that, and putting up about a 10-minute version on the Rosie Murphy channel so you can catch some of the highlights. There was some pretty wild stuff at that fair.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Now let's talk about Missy Jenn. We passed 3 weeks, I think, Missy Jenn, post-infusion.
Yeah.
On Friday. And as predicted, Missy Jenn, after going down for those first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and that was pretty crappy for you, I have to say, that lousy GI upsets, all kinds of things. Friday afternoon, Missy Jenn comes roaring out of the gate, and I can suddenly tell that the positive effects of the infusion are kicking in, because she's jumping around here like a Mexican jumping bean. It's pretty amazing how it starts to kick in by week 3.
Yeah, week 3. It's
Why don't you tell people about how you feel when you're, the low and then climbing out of that low, because it was a tough 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Well, it just, I don't know, you wake up one day and it's like, you actually, for a change, feel physically good. And
your energy level.
It's just you have actually energy. You don't have the aches and pains as much. You don't have, your body doesn't have all the vibrations and the shakes and the tremors and it's really, really nice. You almost feel like a normal person.
Yeah, and that's the whole goal. There's been some people too, Missy Jenn, have talked about, they see me, and I'm pretty verbal when I'm pushing your chair around, because let's face it, unless you've pushed somebody in a wheelchair for any length of time, and I'm talking about not days, not a day, I'm talking about not a week, not months, but years, you can't really appreciate how piss poor some of the infrastructure is that you've got to wheel people over. Potholes, sidewalk cracks, uneven sidewalk. And sometimes it's a struggle, and you'll have people come on the streams and they'll say, why don't you just get Missy Jenn? Why doesn't she have an electric chair? Well, one of the reasons is, my theory, and it's been borne out over time, and Jenn moved here with an electric chair, and when she was in Missouri at home, she was in that a ton at a time. Well, she doesn't have an electric chair anymore here. And she's on foot a lot of the day. She used to go about half a day, or she'd go a couple hours or 2, and then get caught outside and need to get the chair to get back in. But it's been amazing, because by not using that chair, it's forced Jenn to continue to have her muscle tone in her legs and continue to ambulate or move herself around. And I know some days you don't want to, Jenn. There's some days you just feel like, hey, just curling up in a ball and getting in the chair and just forget about it, pushing a button. So it's not a lack of caring. We could get a chair anytime we want. It would easily be covered by insurance and all that. But by keeping Missy Jenn moving forward, I really have to say, since she's been here 4.5 years on the rancho, it's hard to believe. Just looking at her visually, and I know Jenn hides a lot of stuff too, but it's been pretty amazing to see her steady on, have all of her dignity, do all the things that she enjoys doing without worrying about, ambulating herself around. It kind of forces her to keep moving forward and keep engaged. What was I told when I picked you up in Missouri? What was the line that your roommate gave me at that time? Tell him what your roommate told.
Don't baby her.
Don't baby her. Whatever you do, don't baby her. Okay. And of course, I still baby her. But there's something to that. There's something to that. There's something like that forward ability, and I just feel like path B, we can only imagine path B, Jenn, but if you had just been in the chair full time, you would begin to lose your leg muscles and your ability to ambulate yourself around. So at least that's my observation on things. So Jen, you can add anything that you want into that, but her days used to be measured by a couple hours. Now she can continue to move around. You know, some nights when she's been sitting down, like last night in a chair for, you know, 2.5, 3 hours, it's difficult to get on your feet again and start moving. But she got home last night and she was a jumping bean again. Anything you want to add as we wrap up?
And I went to bed.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
To go to bed.
So yeah, I think for me it's payoff. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, I just can say that if you have any kind of chronic illness, try to exercise and try to be mobile as much and as long as you can. Because that is basically what will keep you alive.
Yeah. Keeps you mentally strong too.
Also, if you do something, you can accomplish something. Do something during the day, even if it's one thing. It'll make you feel good about yourself and give you a positive boost. That, hey, I can still do things. I can still do the laundry, or, you know, I can get the vacuum cleaner. I can vacuum one room or something. I can still do something.
Or your days of just being able to go through the whole day and still walk and be on your feet.
I can go shopping or whatever, and, you know, I can still do something. I can still live and have dignity. So
yeah, and the payoff for me helps me stay in shape, right, Missy Jenn? It's like, get those fat little stubby legs moving. Let's go. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful Sunday. Our longest coffee time ever. We love having you guys along. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday, and thanks for spending time with us. And if you haven't checked out the winter fair, the parade, particularly the first 20 minutes or so, check it out. I think you will enjoy the whole festival. And give me a feedback on the quality of the stream.
And smashed up.
And hit that thumbs up.
Thumbs up, please.
Thanks, everybody.